Okay, so I'm troubleshooting this furnace that's been flaking out the last few days. I'm in the Midwest, and we just coming off this about 2 week stint where it's been below freezing, all the way down to like -1 probably earlier last week or so. And this thing has been working up until the last few days when it stopped igniting. So I thought it was probably just a dirty flame sensor. So I took that out, cleaned it, which I've done before to fix similar problems, and the problem didn't go away. So it's deeper than that. Now this is a Nordyne L1RC, and with a let's see, 624631-A control board. Now I have another similar unit. This one's in the attic. I've got another one in the basement for the downstairs. This one manages the upstairs here. Now this is in the attic, so it is cold up here when it's cold outside. And as I'll show you here in a minute, I'm wondering if that could be a factor here. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure still. So I've been troubleshooting this thing, started a couple days ago, and I can get it to work intermittently, but it doesn't stay lit. So it's an intermittent problem, which could be several things. And, we'll go through here in a second. But what I'm leaning towards at this point is a control board, probably. When I started troubleshooting, a lot of people, have similar problems like this, and it can be a number of things. It could be a bad gas valve, like I mentioned, a dirty sensor, could be a control board, a transformer, could be a pressure switch. So when this thing turns on, the inducer motor will start. That will in turn fire this pressure switch, or close the pressure switch, I should say. After about 30 seconds of that being on, the hot surface igniter will light, and after that glows red hot, then the gas valve is supposed to open, light it up, and we're good to go at that point. Then the blower starts going, and that's pretty much it. So everything up to the gas lighting was working, and then sometimes it would light, sometimes it would stay on briefly, sometimes it would stay on for several minutes, sometimes it wouldn't light at all. So started doing some testing with voltages and so forth, and everything seems to check out. Don't have any problems with the inducer, don't have any problems with the pressure switch over here. We got voltage there, continuity when it's closed like it's supposed to. The ground wire needs to be connected here for the flame sensor to work. It's kind of interesting how that thing functions. It sends electrical signal up through this rod, through the flame, and then back to the board through this ground wire here. That's all connected. There's no problems with that. I thought maybe this thing got a little bit tweaked up against some of the sheet metal there, but I thought maybe that was a possibility, but nope. So it's been sitting here today, up until yesterday, or I'd say yesterday when I was troubleshooting. I couldn't get it to go at all, although there is one little trick that I'll show here in a second, which is very weird. So under normal conditions, with everything just plugged in as is, if I fire it up, as of yesterday, it was doing everything I just mentioned. Now, fast forward to this morning, I came in here, hit the switch just to see what it's going to do, and lo and behold, it fired up. Now, it didn't stay on all day. It stayed on for I don't know, half hour or so, and then went back to its issues. So it's been sitting here most of the day, and I want to see what happens. Let's see what happens when we hit the switch. Alright. Inducer motor going. Hear a click. There's a click for the relay switch or the hot surface igniter. It's going to get going. You can see that. So that glows red hot, more like orange hot. And we'll hear the relay click in just a minute. The gas valve, and then we'll hear the gas valve. Should have just ignited and it did not. So that's what happened. Now, interestingly, I'm going to power it back off real quick. We'll just start over. Now, what this led me to was measuring voltages everywhere. What's supposed to happen is get 24 volts right here on this gas valve. So it's a little hard to get my probes in there, but if I pull these up, let's see what happens. Tilt these back a little. I don't have the skinniest probes there are. All right, we'll do it one more time. Hang on. All right, it's going through that sequence again. Stand by. Now I got my probes on the gas valve. It's got a very slight voltage reading below it. Go through the normal cycle here. There's the service igniter relay. It's going. Should see the gas valve is set signal to turn on. That should jump up to 24 volts. Oh, there. It's got a brief increase. Registered 14 on this trapping multimeter, and then back to 0. So clearly not getting the voltage to this gas valve. So that would indicate either bad transformer, but I measured the voltage off the transformer. Here are the leads coming in off the secondary on that transformer into the control board. That checks out at 24 volts. The gas valve kicks on and it doesn't drop or anything. So we've got correct voltage coming in. So everything's pointing to a bad control board. Back on. Now, interestingly, so here are the two, black and yellow, are the wires going to the gas valve. If I kind of push on these I push hard into the control board, push this whole Molex connector kind of against the board. Let's see if it fires up. And there it goes. So that is very weird. Now if I let off of this, see if it stays going. So far so good, but typically when I let go, it also shuts off the flame. So this has been kind of the intermittent part. So there's definitely something going on with this control board slash connector. I don't know. I took the connector off, checked all the pins. Everything looks completely normal. There's no obstructions. There's no damage. There's no tweaks. Nothing's warped. So I don't know. Everything's making contact. I even spread out the shut it off. Pull this connector out. So the little pins in there, they're kind of split in half. So I took a little screwdriver and spread them out a little bit. So when they would go into the socket, I wanted to make sure that they're making good contact with the little barrels that are in there, the female pins that are in there. And I cleaned it with electronics cleaner, made sure there's no corrosion. I don't think it's anything like that. So problem is when I just plug it in normally without pushing on it, turn it back on again, it may or may not fire. Most of the time it's not. Now, considering that it was single-digit temps up until just today, kind of sucked. Luckily, the furnace downstairs was working, and I cranked that up, and some of that hot air got up here, so the upstairs wasn't too terrible. And then today, it's actually 42 degrees out right now, so things have warmed up. So things aren't too bad at the moment. For whatever reason, that voltage is not getting through those wires to the gas valve, and I think it has something more to do with some components on this board as opposed to this connector. So anyway, I ordered a board, which I have right here, brand new board from Supply House. For $190. I figured it's either going to be the board, possibly the valve. I don't think it's the gas valve at this point. But even if it is, I swapped this board out, it still doesn't work, then I think it's still worth the effort and money and having someone come out here and paying to diagnose all this stuff, because I'm really willing to bet that this is it. And I'm only out 190 versus, I don't know, probably some 100. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap this board out and fire it up and see if it works. So stand by. Okay, so we're back at it here. I've got the new circuit board installed. I've got my probes on the gas valve. I just want to check this. I haven't started this up yet since I put the board in, so this will be the moment of truth when I hit the power. And I'm going to go ahead and double check this voltage when it fires up. So let's hit that switch. Okay, so that's already reading 1 volt. Before it used to be 0.5. So that's a difference. Alright, inducer going. Your click for the hot surface igniter. Switch click. Things should fire up. There we go. So far so good. Alright, let's go in. Let's check this voltage. It's better say 24 volts. Yeah, that's okay. Look at that. This is definitely the culprit. Some circuitry on this board somewhere. The only thing I see really is resistors. There's some, I don't know, it's like some excessive heat around those things over the years probably. This thing's probably 16, 17 years old. I think this unit is that old. I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, it's definitely 10 plus. But that's really the only thing I've noticed on this board. Flip it over. There's the back side where those resistors are. Definitely some excessive heat right there. Could be related to that, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't getting the right voltage there. That group of 9 pins right there, 2 of those pins are the yellow and brown that go to the gas valve. So nothing out of the ordinary there, but good chance could be those resistors. I don't know, hard telling. But that was it. There we go. We got a yellow light indicates the flame sensor senses the correct current. Bundle these wires back up, chuck them in here, and put this cover back on. We're good to go until the next failure.